everyone, this is Eileen, the High Desert Tarotist, and today we are going to be doing a massive reading for our new year 2022. I know this is a little late, but if you saw my last video, you heard I was pretty sick, but now I'm feeling better and I'm ready to sit down and film what's probably going to end up being these hours-long video. If you are new to pick a card reading, what you want to do is look and see what pile you feel the most drawn through, and then I will have the links in the description below so you can fast forward to your reading. We'll be doing this a little different because it is so big. We'll lay out the cards. I'll give you a chance to kind of look and see what cards you got for the year, see if it feels like it resonates for you and you feel like that might be your reading, and then we'll delve into the reading. After we do the reading, we will get some oracle cards in to kind of add more dimension. All right, so let's go ahead and do the piles. Because it's, again, looking at the year in review, I decided to go with the World card today. So our pile one is going to be the World card, which they call the Universe in the Crow's Magick Tarot. And I paired that with the Crystal Cluster. Pile two is the World card, which is also the Universe in the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. And then I paired that with the Rose Quartz. Pile three is the World card from the Light Seers Tarot. And I paired that with the Amythyst. And then pile four is going to be the World card from the Wild Unknown Tarot. And I've paired that with the Shadow Crystal Cluster. Go ahead and pause, take a moment, feel which pile you feel drawn to. If you feel drawn to more than one, that's okay. There may just be messages for you in multiple piles. And then I will see you back with pile one. Hi, pile one. If you chose the World card from the Crow's Magick Tarot, then this is your reading. What does pile one need to know about their year ahead? What insight can we give pile one today for their year 2022? Okay, I'm gonna move these out of the way. I'm gonna need the room. So it's gonna be like a month-to-month spread with a general focus in the middle. So we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and then December. And our focus in the middle is going to be the Page of Swords, which will be kind of the overall theme. So I'm going to pause here. I want you to take a moment, look at the cards, see if this really feels like it resonates for you, and then we will get into your reading. Okay, pile one. So I'm seeing a couple of things right off the bat. The first thing I'm seeing is we have a lot of swords in our spread. The other thing is we have a lot of mid numbers. So we have a lot of 5s, 6, and 7s. So that kind of tells me two things. One, this year is going to be about progressing in situations or things that have already started for you in 2021. Like you may have been in the beginning stages of certain things, and now we're kind of moving to the mid level. The beginning work, the beginning foundation has already been laid down for you, and now it's time to kind of get through the muck. And so I really feel like the theme for you is kind of getting through the muck, becoming very clear in what you want and what you need. And I just heard like taking yourself seriously again and really like almost opening up to the fact that your life is important and that you want the things you want and you don't want to settle anymore. About quality over quantity now for you. Like you are looking for quality in 2022 in multiple areas of your life. You're ready to do the work it takes to make these dreams and wishes you have for yourself come true. And I'm a firm believer that if you want the light in your life, you have to be willing to go through the darkness. Sometimes we just have to move through the crap. We have to move through it because we have better things on the horizon that we are longing for, and we have to make that commitment to ourselves to achieve it no matter what work lies ahead. And I do see here that we are going to have periods that are good, that bring some nice surprises, but we also have some tough times ahead. However, I feel like the overall theme is it's all leading towards a better place for you in 2022. First, I'm going to start with the overall theme, and then I'll go into the month by month. So our overall theme is the Page of Swords. Overall, we're going to have some unexpected things happen to us, and there's like such a mix here. You're really looking at a lot of parts of your life. You're looking at your work. You're looking at your life in general. You're looking at your home. You're looking at the people in your life, and there is some focus on love and romance. I don't see you as being someone that's currently attached to anyone. You may be dating people, but again, quality over quantity. This kind of seems like the year for you where you're kind of ready to let someone more significant in your life. You may have recently went through a lot of heartbreak. You may have been kind of dealing with that. This year you kind of decide, you know what, I'm ready to try again with someone significant, someone meaningful, someone that's going to catch your eye at some point. And I want that quality again in my life. Since we have the Page of Swords as the overall theme, it kind of makes me think that this might be you. So you might be kind of a Taurus type personality. You could be a Taurus, or you could just have the qualities of a Taurus. So you may be really practical, really realistic. You may really be clear and you kind of know what you want and you know what you need to do to get there. You could be loyal, patient. So if you have these qualities, then this may present you. And I really think that fits for the overall theme of the reading is, like I said, I really feel like this year is going to be about you choosing to move through the dark to get to the light and get what you want. All right, so we're going to start month by month, and I will zoom in on each card for momentarily for the month. So our first card is January, which we have the Magician. We are in January right now, so this again is another good indicator. If you feel like this really fits what's been happening to you so far this month, a good sign that this really truly is your reading. We also have a major arcana, so this is going to be like, I think, a big month for you. And the Magician in this type of a spread is going to really talk about, I think it's kind of setting the tone for your whole year and everything that we just kind of went through. The Magician in the January tells me that you are coming to a phase where you are just ready. You're ready to move to the next level. You're ready to like really cultivate the things that you want in your life. You're ready for more. You're ready for more. You're ready for new beginnings. You're ready. You've been like desiring things, I think. And again, I'm in the middle of this now, right? The beginning has probably already happened for you in 2021. Like you've went through a lot of work already. And now you're like, you know what? I feel like at this point, I have an idea of the dreams that I want for myself. And I'm all in now. I'm ready to manifest that crap. I'm ready to make stuff happen. And I'm ready to put the work in. So I feel like the theme of January is a preparatory month for what lies ahead of you for the year. So this is the month where you're proclaiming to the universe, like, yo, I'm done with this and I want this. This isn't working and this is kind of working. You may have already had some new beginnings, right? Had an inkling of a person you may have recently met that's come into your life that you're like, okay, something's happening here. You may have kind of already decided that like things that have been going on just aren't suiting you anymore, and you're just ready for the next level in such a strong way. Feel it in your bones that it's coming for you, and this is exactly what you want for 2022. I think the other cool thing is if you have like the energy and the stamina now to make it happen, where you might not have necessarily been feeling that in like December and November and even October. And there's every area of your life, your home, your finances, your work, your love, your relationships, family, like all of that is just coming to the forefront and you're like ready to get going. So now that's really like January. Again, I see it more as like the calm before the storm, so to speak, for you this month, where you're setting your intentions and you're deciding what actions you are going to take. Then we have February. So February, we have the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords, so February seems like it's going to be a month where you're going to start, like as I said in the beginning, you're going to start going through the muck. And I think it's pretty fitting to come after what we're going through in January, because it's like you set the intentions and now what, right? Like what happens? And so I just heard like you're rushing to a conclusion and you need to like let time run its course And I think that's you're almost going to feel like, wait, I already decided what I wanted in January. This is what I want. Like, come on, life, give it to me. I'm ready. And then February is going to be like, hold up. Like, it doesn't happen. It's going to happen in time, but not this month. So that can be leading to some of the confusion you're feeling. You might feel like, okay, I feel like I'm ready for all these things to come in my life, and like, why isn't it happening? And I'm still having you might have some unforeseen problems. Stuff might come up with your family, stuff might come up with work. And then you might be like, wow, I thought things were going to change and get better because I decided in January that's what was going to happen. And now in February, it's kind of like business as usual. And now I'm feeling like that feeling of disappointment, frustration, and like, okay, is this just like, this is exactly what's been going on for the past 3 or 4 months now. Why is this still happening in February? Again, we're in all areas of life, work, love, family. We're just still feeling the stress, and we're like, it's like we know what our goal is now. We're really clear, and now we're just longing for it, and it's not coming. So I think really what I'm hearing is, for you in February, I think you just need to, 1, go easy on yourself, 2, try to let time run its course, and 3, know that you're on the right path. And again, I just keep hearing this phrase over and over. If you want to get to the light, you have to be willing to walk through the dark. And that's really, I think, what's happening for you in the first part of the year. So we're at February. Some things I think you can do in February to help you is don't lose sight of your overall dreaming goal. And just keep reminding yourself, like, I know what I want. I know it's not happening now. It's not happening as fast as I would like. But what kind of, again, because the overall theme is action here. So what kind of action can you take to make it come to you? So maybe you need to open up more in February if there's like things that you're wanting to happen at home, with finances, with work, or with like love and relationship. You take the action in February. I think a way that you can move past this, and we see, like, I think it's really interesting that March goes into the 6 of Swords, because these cards were really mixed up and shuffled, and the fact that they showed up in sequence. So that gives me hope that, like, whatever this is in February, you're going to move through it really fast, and we're going to move on to some progress. So the key for me here is what action, because again, Page of Swords, we're talking about action, about making it go. We're talking about manifesting the things we want. What can you take? What can you do? You're going to have to kind of step up to the plate and maybe come out of your comfort zone a little and start really try to move past that like stuck, confused, distressed, like bottled up feeling. Put yourself out there and move yourself forward. That is like, I think, your goal for February. All right, then we have March, and March is the 6 of Swords. Okay, and in the 6th, so in March, we're still going to be having those like obstacles and problems, whatever it was that we were facing in February, it's still gonna be there for us in March. March. It's still gonna be there for us in March. However, now I think we're having some progress. So like where before we kind of were feeling stuck, like we like had all this hope in January, then it was like nothing's moving. Finally in March, I think things are going to start moving a little bit for you. And again, this is public. This is going to be also in your professional life, your career, and your working relationships. So I think for March, we're thinking more practical, which I think is good, because I think that we have to think about like what we need in our life. If we're like wanting really higher level things, like we really want like an amazing connection with someone, like I said kind of before, I just keep like hearing this, that you've been kind of dating, you've been playing in the field, you've been like, you might have like already be seeing someone, but you're kind of like, I don't know, man, it's like, it's okay, but it's not okay. And I think that there's like this feeling of something else that you can tell is brewing, and that might be causing confusion and stress. So March is going to be kind of a time for you to evaluate what's happened to this point, and I think kind of renew the thoughts you had, the feelings you had from January. So it's kind of time for you to check in with yourself and say, okay, like February was whatever. Hopefully you took some action, you saw some movement. to enough to get you to in February where things are starting to like feel like they're flowing again. But March is a good time for you to step back and reevaluate things and say, I'm 3 months into the year. Do I like how things are going? Are things progressing the way I want? Or am I still facing obstacles? And if I am, what kind of action, what steps do I need to take to, again, keep moving towards my goal? We're moving through the muck. Then we get to April. In April, we have the 7 of Wands. You may have some travel in April. Also, there's more like clarity coming into your life. So any like pressures you've been experiencing with work, with schedules, with personal commitments may come to a head for you in April. I feel like April's going to be a month where you're just longing for some clarity. And there is this theme for me of work and love, home and finances. So April is going to bring answers to questions that you have been having in February and March, especially February and March. So it's going to help you, I think, kind of invigorate yourself. You may have been kind of waning in energy, like, oh, okay, I just want to give up now, like whatever. But then April's going to be like, no, you're like, it's almost like when you need it the most, you're going to get the energy you need to keep going. You're going to be able to move through things, and you might start feeling like some positive changes. If you do end up traveling, you might end up traveling spontaneously. I don't know why I just heard spontaneously. I also heard it might be kind of with someone new that you have like kind of been in your life, and now you're like taking action and you're trying to bring them in more. So it feels like something really good and positive is going to come your way in April. And I think that's really going to offset kind of like the drudgery you may have been facing until now, as you like, again, really work to create the ultimate life that you want for yourself this year. And then we have May, and May is the Knight of Coins. And May again, so this does speak to like some travel. You may get a promotion, so possibly like all that work you've been doing at home for your career, for your finances, you're going to start seeing some rewards in May. So you might get a promotion of some kind, you might travel, you may invest in something. Your career is like banging, it's like going really well in May, but you, my friends, seem to be still really focused on your life and love. You know that good things are happening, but you still feel like something is missing from your life. I do see like more April and May seem to have like some promise of travel. It could just be day trips, even it could be a longer trip, and the promise of like someone that you've been liking, someone that's really come into your life that you're really beginning to see. I think by May you're like realizing that the potential with this person is beyond what you were even admitting to yourself in January and February, and now you're like, oh yeah, this person is it for me. This is the thing that when I was like manifesting what I wanted in January, this is the person it's almost like this person's kind of been in the background, and then all of a sudden you're just like, wait, hold up. Okay, I got to make this happen, and I got to make this happen now. So you may again like do a trip with this person. You're going to be thinking about love. There's like that, that movie, Will Smith movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, that just popped in my head. You're now like more actively pursuing happiness in your personal life because your career life is kind of going okay now. I think you kind of moved through whatever crap was going on with work, and now you're like, that's cool, that's smooth sailing. But like, man, we got to think about me now. And then we have June. In June, we have our Justice card. So June is probably going to be another huge month for you because we have a major arcana. I had these goals in January, and now you're like halfway. So now, what are we, like halfway through the year? And you are like ready. If you've been dealing with legal matters, you may have a settlement, you may reach a conclusion, you may be able to end any settlements or legal things you've been dealing with. You're going to be focusing on your health, thinking about cause and effect, right? So I feel like June is going to be a month where you're going to start actually seeing the manifestations of everything you've been working towards the first part of the year. So if you were able to heed the warning and take action during these periods of time where you felt like stuck still, if you were able to put yourself out there, if you were able to, And I was going to say almost like the Fool, and then we have the Fool here in a later month. But if you were able to get past your stuff, and you were able to fully acknowledge the role you play in where your life is, and I think, so again, we're kind of seeing in June the effects of all the work you've put into this point. So if you were able to put yourself out there, I think June's going to be a wonderful month. But if you kind of got stuck in being shy and being scared, in not really taking the action you wanted to, you might find that in June you're not reaping the rewards that are almost like promised to you right now with this card. And again, the theme of like quality over quantity is just what you're all about. And I really hope that you take action in your personal life, because I feel like if you do, June is going to be the month where you're like, okay, I wanted quality and now it's here, and it's here because I was able to finally say something, like speak my truth, open myself up. I was able to get my other affairs in order, and now those are in order. So I'm able to now think about this other, it almost feels like your personal life or like your love life has been on the back burner for quite a while now. And again, I feel like you've probably been dating people, you've been like trying, but it really isn't until this year where I think you're making like that declaration of what you want, and knowing that you're ready to open yourself up again to a person at a deeper level than you have for a long time. And if you like, I don't know why I just keep seeing this image of a person that's kind of in the background. Like I see like you're like there going through all this, and I just keep seeing like this almost like shadow of a person that's there. They're kind of like, it's like they've already come into your life by this point, because again, like I said, I feel like we're already in the middle of this process. So if they might have someone that's come into your life in 2021, someone that I feel like you have like some kind of daily connection to in some form, like in some kind of like, you guys might move through the same space in some way or another. And so they've been there, and it's like, but it's like you were like wanting to reach out to them, and you may have even tried, but then nothing happened. And so but they're still there. And it's like, I feel like by June, you're like, okay, this person's quality, and I am ready to take it to the next level. I'm ready to take them out of the shadows and bring them to the front, because this is what I want. And I don't know if you remember me saying like for February that one thing that you're gonna have to learn in February is that you gotta like calm down, let time take its course, because when we let time let me reword this. When there's something that is so significant and is really meant to be part of our lives, I feel like the universe or nature, whatever you want to say, however you want to call it, is going to let it happen as it should. And it's going to be, sometimes I feel like the slower connections we have, the ones that seem to take more time, end up being the most fulfilling in our life, because we didn't have any expectations placed on them, and two, we allowed it to slowly become part of our life until it's like that ultimate feeling of peace and safety and security, and just like, okay, this thing has been slowly building for months, and now I'm realizing that this is everything I've wanted, and I'm ready to allow it. There's like a merging of, I just heard like a merging of souls, which is such a weird, I would never say something like that, but that came up, so we're just gonna throw it out there. If you want quality, you have to be willing to take the time to let things progress naturally, because there's something, I feel like this needs to be said here. There's something so different about when you're trying to like actively force yourself to like be in someone's life, like kind of when you're like dating, versus when you realize like, oh, this person's like relationship material. And we have like the symbol here, I think, of just worry and confusion and like wanting something that's not happening. And then we have here, like by June, we have that cause and effect. the time component. So I feel like a time frame for this issue will be from February to June. It's basically what I'm trying to say. If you were able to get through what was going on in February and just allow like time to flow and not give up on the ultimate dream, and really just open yourself up to letting this situation come to you in the way that it wants, to be really a part of your life, and you were able to just enjoy what it brought to you each month, I think there's great promise and reward for you in June. So you were patient, and again, this Taurus, right? Taurus energy, being patient. If you were patient, if you were willing to open up, Tauruses can also be stubborn. So if you were able to like not be stubborn and just like allow this, again, this person in the shadow I'm seeing, it's a weird image, but then I feel like it's going to rock your world. And by June, you're going to see that. And it's almost, I don't know. I actually am like smiling right now because I'm like, I feel happy for you. I hope that, again, if you heed the warning for patience and action and putting yourself out there and getting so it's kind of like you have to get your other stuff taken care of first. Get that work stuff, get that home stuff, get that family, get that stuff done and settled. Get yourself stable because you're ready for like higher level things. And like, if you've done the work, you will now be in a space by June to let that thing that's been kind of slowly kind of coming into your life just blossom and build. So June, I feel like the month of June is, if it's really good for you or really not good for you, is going to depend on all these things we've talked about to this point and how much you were willing to, again, move through the darkness, get through the crap, put yourself together, and get yourself ready for this like wonderful thing that wants to come into your life. Okay, August. So August, we have the 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups are 2 things. One, I think our mind is going to be on our personal relationships in August. And 2, this is like the card of all hope is not lost, right? So keep that in mind. I always keep that in mind with the 5 of Cups, because the 5 of Cups can be like a card. The 5s in general, we're talking about delays and setbacks and like things not really going our way. We also had that in February, right? So we're kind of coming back to that stage in our life in August. You're like really longing for something and you're just desiring more. So this can really be an offshoot of what's been going on for you in June. So again, you may be really struggling with wanting to open up yourself to someone that has kind of been there in the background for a while now, and you just kind of have had this realization that like, man, this person is it. And like, you might, if you had a hard time taking action, August might be a month where you're now kind of seeing the side effects of that. So maybe things aren't progressing like you like, or I don't know. I just heard like self-esteem, or like I guess like this feels more emotional, more personal of a month. For some reason, you start to doubt yourself. You start to doubt that you, I think, deserve this thing or these things that are coming into your life. Because again, I feel like this part of the year, so May and June, I'm sorry, I think I said August, but this is actually July. So I apologize. So May and June, I feel like brought you some peace, some stability, some of the stuff that we were focused on in the first part of the year. And now it's almost like in August, you start second guessing yourself for some reason. It's like things are starting to get so good for you that your August is almost that month where you're like, you push it away. I'm feeling this sense of like, you're pushing things away. You're like, no, things can't be this good for me. Things have been crappy for me for like so long now. Like, I mean, like a year and a half now, possibly 2 years or more. And I can't believe that my life is suddenly going okay. I can't believe that like things are, so you're like almost pushing it away. You're like making reasons for things not to be what they are. You're like almost creating your own setbacks, but you're still so longing for these things that are really here for you now. So you're almost, I wish there was like, I'm tempted to pull a card for this one, because if like the devil came up, I'll die. Because it almost feels like that, like you're kind of in a cage of your own making, because you're not, I think you're so used to, by May and June and July, you're so used to this point of like fighting or having something good come in your life, and then something bad happens, or like having a string of things happen. And now that like life is turning for you in a positive way, you don't believe it, you don't trust it, and you are just, I just wanted to say you're afraid. And there's something on the tip of my tongue that I really want to say, but it won't come to me. I'm going to pull a clarifier card. Can you give us some clarity on why is the Five of Cups in our July? What is happening with us that is leading us to this point where we're starting to again feel confused, where you might start feeling like obstacles are coming up? They might be things we're creating for ourselves, but what is happening here? Okay, I just feel like this card. Oh, the Hermit. Okay, I'm feeling the Hermit there. And again, the Hermit is a time for withdrawal, right? Where we're looking at self. So that's exactly what I just said. So it's actually pretty apropos that the Hermit showed up. You're like battling your own inner demons in August. And I really think, again, it's coming out of the fact that things are suddenly getting better for you. And it's like suddenly those things that you've been manifesting in January are coming in June and July. I'm sorry, in May and in June. And then by July, yeah, it's like you freeze. You're like, wait, this can't be happening. This can't be true. But our Hermit is coming to tell you that, I think, a way for you, well, one, the Five of Cups says all hope is not lost. So it's okay. I think whatever you go through in August, all hope is not lost. So what I want to tell you is the things that have come good into your life, you're not going to lose them. They are going to stay because they are true blue and they are here for you. And it is okay for you to take the time to do what you need to, again, let yourself fully open up and accept it. So if this is like work, maybe you just need to take a week off. Maybe you just need a little break. You need some time to yourself. If this is about like a person, a romantic relationship, if you feel yourself withdrawing from them, do me a favor and let them know what's going on. Because one, that's the work you need to do. You need to really let your guard down, open up to someone. And this person just, again, feels like they've been kind of with you for a while now, and now like they're becoming more a part of your life, and they are true blue. And the way you feel for them, I am feeling like they feel the same way for you. So it's mutual, and it's like a good place to be. And I think they're going to understand. Like, I feel like they're a person that understands the need that sometimes we just need to be alone. Sometimes we just need time to ourselves. Sometimes we just need to like go in our little lion's den, and we need to like lick our wounds, and we need to like take the space and time to let kind of like our heart catch up with our mind. And that's, I think, what you need in August. And I feel like if you tell them, they're going to be more supportive than you could imagine. And I think this person is probably a person that really understands that sometimes what we need more than anything is ourself. And when we are able to take that time to give ourselves the time we need, ultimately it leads to a better tomorrow. And that is, I feel like your warning for July. Your warning for July is let the person know, or let the people know, let your work know that this is what you need, and you're here. You're not going anywhere, but you just need some time for yourself. And I think you're going to be, again, because the Five of Cups is all hope is not lost. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about the response you get and the support, because again, you've already done the crap, and you're moving to a better place. And, we're still like getting through that darkness, but I feel like by now more light's coming in, but there is going to be some more dark spots. Just try to trust what life has brought you to this point. I don't know why I keep seeing this image of you like almost like, what are those called? You're like in like a moat, like the castles where they'd have like a moat around them. That's how I see you. I see you like standing in the middle. You're very present. You're very obvious. Like everybody can see you, but it's like you have built a moat around you that keeps the things that you really want from getting to you. And I think that's come out of a lot of past pain, past difficulties, broken hearts, like broken promises. But I feel like 2022 is coming to say, hey, can we like fill in that moat? Because we're ready for things to cross this barrier we created, and we're ready to move forward. We're ready to have the dreams and all the things that we thought about in January. Please don't be the cause of your own obstacles. Don't be the cause of your own hardships. Keep moving through the dark. And please let people know, because I feel like, again, I don't know, the support is here, the hope is here. Just, you got to knock down your walls. And I think, and just even looking ahead to the 8 of Swords of what's happening in August, like July and August is all about like, it's time to break down those walls. It's time to knock down the barriers. It's time to fill in that moat, because you're ready for what has come into your life and you're deserving of it. I think you've suffered enough, and it's time for you to let good things, good quality, substantial things back in your life. Okay. So now we're on to August. And again, August is kind of more of the same, right? So we have the 8 of Swords. I actually love the 8 of Swords because the 8 of Swords is the card of you're basically trapped. Almost like, I always see the 8 of Swords as like the minor arcana version of the devil, where you're essentially trapped in a cage of your own making, which is so fitting for it to come with what's been going on in July. But the thing about the 8 of Swords is like, if you look, you'll see that like, you're actually not trapped. You're not as trapped as you think you are. And at any time you can choose to say, you know what, I don't accept this anymore. I don't want this anymore. So I'm just going, I mean, my hands are not tied. I thought they were, but they're not. So I'm moving on. And so hopefully you take the time in July, you ask for the space you need, you like reassure the situations and the people that I'm not going anywhere, but I just really, this is just like an emotional time for me. And if you can give me the space I need, I will figure out how to unstuck myself by August. So again, not too much of a time frame here, right? It's going to be something, I think, an emotional time that you move through within the span of a month, from like July to August. And again, the warning here is how we deal with what happens in August, if we stay trapped or if we're able to recognize that we're actually not chained down to anything, is going to depend on how willing we are to take action, think about the goals we want, and do the work we need to do in July. So if you're able to do that by August, I feel like any opposition you're feeling, any change, this like feeling of limbo is going to work out in your favor. And again, look, we have like the King of Cups here. So we're kind of back to an emotional place by September. There may be something unexpected that happens in August. There may be some health problems that come up, possibly something unexpected, but I don't see it as a huge problem. I think it's going to just be something that you're going to get through in August, and I don't foresee like something horrible happening. I just think it's something that you're going to have to deal with. So, and again, the unexpected problems, the hardships, the anything possible, your health might be just like your mental health is suffering, because maybe you're kind of going through the like crap. And it feels like all of this is coming from the fact that like you've had some success, you've had some achievement, and now you're like, I just keep hearing like you're doing it to yourself. You're doing this to yourself. So pull yourself together and get out of your funk that you kind of got back into this summer. Then we have September. So September, we have the King of Cups. So now we're like thinking of, there's like some fulfillment and I think some positive direction towards your emotional state, your home state, if this has really been for you about relation. I mean, this could all be about work as well, but there is something, I think, to this like person. There's like something in these cards that really speak to just your personal life in general, beyond just work. So like kind of like I said before, every aspect of your life. You're going to be doing more things in your home. I mean, that's kind of, I think, a cool sign. Maybe by September, we're going to be able to start like being together more. You might have like reached some more, I think you're going to reach some good things financially. So things, you're going to reach some good news or good things financially speaking. You're going to become more stable there, and also with like love or romance. And so the King of Cups can also be a person. So this could be someone you know that has been kind and considerate, they're focused, or this could be you, right? You could have been really emotional, you could have been moody, you could have been testing other people, and that's kind of like a theme. So maybe you've kind of worked through all this and you are like, okay, like these good things came in my life. I kind of like started doubting it, and now I'm going to start testing it. Like, is it actually true blue? Are you actually here to stay? Am I ready to take this leap of faith? So it's so interesting that we have this card here, and then in October we have the Fool. So I think that September for you is going to be like a culmination of any work that you've done in August and July. And by September, you're going to start testing how true are these things that have come into my life? How real are they? How stable are they? How much can I actually trust them? So I think we're in September, we're like, I mean, we're the King of Cups here. So the King of Cups to me is like, I always see that as like the emotional fulfillment. Like we have learned how to flow with our feelings. We've learned now we can give, we can take. I think that if you have become this person, then you have done the work the past couple months to really truly open your, so you've broken down your barriers by September. And now you're ready to like let this stuff that's been brewing, you're just like, I am all in now, and like I am ready. Thank you for giving me the time I needed, but we are doing this, right? And I think there might be a proclamation, there might be a conversation, there might be like you bringing that person more into your home. You might be like bringing that into your family. It feels like things are merging now for you in a really good way. And it's thanks to you, because hopefully you've taken the action in these other months in like August and July to fully accept the good things that have come. And now you're ready just to move on with them and bring yourself to a better future. Then we come to October. So October, we have the Fool. So we are like taking a leap of faith in October. We are trusting again. Hopefully we've learned to trust ourselves again. We've moved through the work. We believe in ourselves now. We are like wishing for that brighter future that's kind of been promised to us so far this year. And now we're like ready to just jump in. And there's like a really awesome quote in the book I have for the Intuitive Night Goddess has this amazing quote for the Fool. And it says, instead of worrying about falling, think about flying. So I think the way you approach this, like jumping off a cliff or like just putting yourself out there, just taking a leap of faith is, are you thinking about falling or are you imagining flying? Because yeah, you might take a leap of faith, you might land on your face, but you might also be picked up by life and just like brought to this next level of things that'll just like blow your mind, and you're worth taking that risk. Okay, we have like a possibility here. So we have like our brighter tomorrow that was kind of been here is coming by October, and it's going to again be up to you. Like this whole, again, the theme of the year is we need to take action and we need to like move. And you are going to have to decide by yourself, like, I want to be happy. I trust the process of life. I trust in this process, this time that has been going on this year. And now I am ready for this. I've made the effort. I have decided that I want to be happy. I'm not going to be afraid of these good things. I've been able to take time to myself. I am moving on. I am jumping off that cliff, and I am not going to be thinking about falling. I am going to be thinking about flying, because that is what I'm going to do. Okay, so October, I think, is kind of a cool month for you. And again, we have like our 3 major arcana here, and this is another one. So it's going to be like, I think, an important month for you. I don't know why. I just heard engagement. just like saw this image of like a ring. So I'm wondering if that leap of faith is going to be, you're going to get proposed to, or you're going to propose to someone. That would be kind of cool. It might, I mean, that might not be for a lot of you, but that just kind of came up. So I wanted to throw it out there because it might be important for some of you. And so November, we have the 8 of Coins. And the 8 of Coins continues with our positive change and the work, right? So the 8 of Coins is about like going back to the drawing board, about being willing to make the effort, to put in the work. You're like cultivating your talent. You are going back. You've become more serious. And this is like an amazing culmination, I think, of everything that we have gone through so far to this point. So November 8th is going to continue to show the positive change, the stuff you've worked so hard for, that you're like having these more sustainable long-term accomplishments. Again, we're talking about employment, our friendships, our romance. There's just like betterment here for your future, and you've worked through all the crap, and now you're like completely dedicated to making life what you want. It's all about, again, quality and betterment and believing in the future you deserve. And now you're no longer accepting crap. Now you're ready, and you want it. It's going to be raw, it's going to be real, and you're here for it. And November is going to put some juice back into your fire. You're like you're going to like almost come alive again, and it's going to be more sustainable for you this time and more real. Okay, so now we're ending in December, which is the 7 of Swords. The 7s are kind of a great way to end December. So our 7s are really, well, the 7s are ruled by the Chariot. And it's really, I think it's so perfect, because if we think about how the Chariot rules the 7s, the Chariot, I always see it as like you being able to like get those dueling forces and get them in line so you can move forward, which I think has really shown up for you in this year. And now we're like ending on that note that we have like, we've overcome challenges, or we are overcoming challenges. We are bringing more order back into our life, and we are like moving to a higher purpose. I think that's a good way to end. So we started out in January wanting and desiring things. We moved through the crap through the year, and now we're ending on a phase where we moved through the 5s, we moved through the 6s, right? We are here now. We are like opening ourselves up a little bit more. But I think the 7s also comes with that thing that there's just like one more obstacle, one more challenge to face. But it's going to be okay. I don't think that any challenge or obstacle that comes up, anything else you have to face, I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was earlier, because it's almost like you're going to, again, you have the energy you need now. You have the dedication you need now. You've done the work you need to. It's just like that one more thing, and then life is going to be good. It is a minor arcana, so it could again be a minor thing. For you, I think it's going to be about like looking at your priorities, looking at your family, looking at the efforts you made so far, knowing that things still feel a little uncertain, but we're way better off. Like this year has just brought so much to you. So even if like some things come up for December that aren't the greatest, you're also now, I feel like, have this like wonderful, beautiful foundation that you've built through the year, which is going to give you what you need to persevere through like this last thing and just keep moving towards your better future. So the light is there, almost there, just a little bit more. So a little bit more action will be needed in December. But I feel like overall, there's like this promise of really great things to come for you if you're willing to do what you need to do, to take the action and to move through the hard times. Okay, so that is a lot. I'm going to go ahead and get some oracle cards. We're going to start with our Moonology and just kind of get a general theme for our year. So what advice can we give pile 1 as they move through their year? Okay, I don't know. I want this card. Oh, I love this. Okay, wow. So the first one you get was bring love into the situation. Just like, I feel like that's exactly kind of what we've been talking about, of like letting it come to you, right? So this card for me is just reinforcing what I already said, is you got to break down your barriers. You got to break down your walls. You got to let people cross that moat. Let the love come to you. Don't rush it. And you yourself are going to have to take action. So if you're like wanting love from another person, give that love to them. If you're wanting like happiness at work and at home, be that. Be like the love, be the support, be the action that you're wanting from others in other situations, because it's going to help your whole situation change. I want to pull one more for you. Oops. And here we go. Conclusions are within reach. So yeah, that again is kind of perfect for your situation, and kind of how it's really great for like what we said about December is that, you know, you are moving forward. You're moving forward. All the stuff that's happened, you are like within reach of your goals. You are going to manifest the things you want this year. There might be one more obstacle that ends out your year, but it's coming. The love that you want is coming. The stability you want is coming. The financial control, the peace at home, the peace at work, the peace within yourself. This stuff is coming for you this year. But it is, again, up to you to take action, to kind of like put yourself out there and demand and kind of work towards the things that you have decided you wanted in January. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave you here, pile one. Overall, I'm like smiling for you, because I really hope that you can do kind of the things that came up. Put the effort and time into yourself, into your situations, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And these things that have come up in your life are almost like unexpected, or like I said, it's like almost like something's been in the background for a while, and now all of a sudden you're like, wait, hold up. Like, and I think this kind of started for you early. Like, wait, what's this thing here? Is this going to be something? Is it nothing? But I feel like life is bringing you what you need. It's almost like you're kind of on one path right now, and life is like, oh, hold up, you actually need to go here. So I know like you've been kind of working on this, but let's scoot you over, because this is actually where you need to be right now. This is really what's going to help you manifest the things that you have been wanting and like thinking about. I am wishing you the best of luck for the new year. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hi, pile two. If you chose the World card, which is the universe in the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, then this is your 2022 reading. So I am going to do this reading a little different. I'm going to lay out all the cards because this is like a year spread. I really want you to take a minute, look at the cards, see if you feel like what you're seeing, if you feel like that really resonates with you, and it's definitely your pile, and then we will delve into the reading. So what does pile two need to know for their year ahead? What important events, what things are going to happen that pile two needs to be ready for? Oh wait, this one right here. All right, so we have January, February, March, April. Ooh, that's good. May, June, July. Oh, you got some love happening here this year. August, September, October, November, and then we will end off in December. Our theme for the year is going to be the Eight of Cups. Oh, interesting. Okay. Which I just want to say right now, I don't think it has to do with like the love that's coming in. I think it has to do with you like leaving something that wasn't serving you to allow something new. So that's kind of like, just to say that right off the bat, I feel like you're leaving something that hasn't served you because something new and better is on its way. So that's pretty cool. All right, but I'm going to stop talking there. I'm going to give you a minute. Please sit with the cards and see if you feel like this really resonates with you. And then we will get into your reading. See, so first off, I don't think that you can see. I'm gonna move these up. So hopefully you've taken the time, you've looked, and you've decided that this is your pile. So we're gonna get into our reading. So I'm like right off the bat feeling a couple things for you. I'm feeling sadness and hope at the same time. I also feel like the first part of your year is going to be pretty intense, and it's really setting the stage for what is to come for the year. So let's start with our focus. Our focus is the Eight of Cups. So like I just said, I just feel like this year is going to be about you walking away from the things that no longer serve you because you know and desire better things for yourself. And it's time. So I think there's several things in your life that have totally run their course, and I feel like you already know this. You know things have run the course, but you may have been kind of stuck in like the routine you've been in, or you've been stuck in the situation, and you're kind of at a point now with 2022 where it's time to let go and move on. I also don't feel like one situation for everybody. When I was looking how it is kind of a mix. We got some pentacles, we got some wands, we have some swords, we have some cups. So I think for you, you're gonna know, like, is this situation specifically about a relationship and love that we're walking away from? Is this a situation about work? Is this a situation about dreams we've had for ourselves, our career, our personal goals? So it's really, I think, gonna be individual to you. So I'll try to read these general in the sense that I won't focus on one topic over another, but know that, trust your gut, I guess, basically. So I feel like you probably know what the situation is. So again, it feels pretty strongly like it's something that you've been dealing with for a while. And this year, especially like the first part of the year, is going to be a realization that you're gonna have that it's just, nothing's gonna change. We've reached the end of the road here, and it's time to move on. And it's okay, because ultimately you're doing it for you. And that's really all we can do in life. Is if something doesn't serve us, we can always choose to move on and move towards something better. That's our general theme here. And so let's see how it kind of breaks down month to month. And right off the bat, man, we're like bang, bang, bang. We have 3 major arcana. So January, February, March, I feel like is going to be really major for you. And it's going to be a little bit solitary for you. I'm really seeing like a period of time that you're going through where it's going to be you, and it's absolutely necessary. So you're almost like, I just like saw this image of you like going into a cocoon. I think we're starting out the year. Well, I think we've already realized that, man, whatever this situation is for you, again, if it's a relationship, if it's a marriage, if it's a job, if it's like just your general state of life, you have already come to the conclusion that like there's really nothing more you can do here. So now we're trying, I feel like the first parts of this year are about like preparing yourself to accept this is your fate and move on. So let's start with January. January, we have reclamation. And in this, in the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, this is actually the card of the Devil, which I'm like, wow, totally fits, right? The thing about, I actually love the Devil card, because for me, the Devil card always symbolizes that it's almost like we're stuck in a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're stuck. We're kind of like creating the situation for ourselves. There may be some addictions you're dealing with. There may be some kind of situation that you're so wrapped up in, and you have to acknowledge the role that you're playing in keeping this thing going. It can also be about just the fear of like accepting yourself who you are. Like, do you fear your own sensuality? Do you fear like who you are as a total being? And is that fear or that stuckness you're feeling, or that like cage you're creating for yourself, How can that possibly be leading to this overall situation of just being completely unfulfilled with where you are right now? What we're going to focus on in January, again, I'm feeling like there has been some stuff going on for you, and we can't even deny that, and I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's just stuff's been real and it's been hard. But January, and you may have already started this month, I think that either things are happening or you're coming to more of a realization of the role that you are playing in this, and that could be causing some struggle for you. It could be causing hurt feelings for you, confusion for you, sadness for you. But just looking at where we're going to head to the Hermit and then the Star, right? I think that if January's been kind of a hard month for you, it's helping you move towards the necessary ending to get through your better tomorrow. So try to keep that in mind. You might feel like nothing has been going right for me. It's just been one thing after another. I just feel like I've put in all the work I can put in. I don't know where to go from here. And I think that's really going to come to a head for you in January, if it hasn't already. We are in January 22nd. So if this January card sounds like what you've been going through this month, then I think that's a really great sign that this is definitely your reading. I think that these feelings that we're having in January are really leading us to the place that we're going in February. So February, we have introspection. In the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, this is actually the card of the Hermit. So it's time. It's time for you to take time for yourself, to go to your safe place, to just acknowledge what you need in life, what's not working, what is working. A lot of these cards are really pointing to the ending of one phase and the beginning of another phase, but you have to bridge the gap. If you want to move away from this ending and get a better beginning, you're going to have to build your own bridge. And I think February is going to be a month for you that helps you clarify what does that bridge look like for me? How am I going to do this? And do I have what it takes? And I think your answer is yes. You definitely have what it takes. And don't worry if February is kind of a slow month for you. It's kind of funny because pile one, I think their February was kind of blah as well. I think I'm wondering if February is just going to be one of those months that are we're just getting through. But use that to your advantage. Don't be afraid to take that time. Like I said, if this is really all about you, you. I want you to put yourself first and give yourself the time and the space and the love and the self-care you need. I think if you're able to do this for yourself in February, you're going to have a lot of realizations and truth. So I think a lot of things are going to come to light for you in February, which is really going to clarify how did I get myself into this situation? How am I part of the problem and why? So I feel like you're going to get the why. Okay, I know this situation isn't helping me. I've been feeling like I'm at the end of my road, but I didn't really know why I felt this way. And now in February, I think you're going to understand. And I think that understanding is going to help you do what you need to do to walk away from the situation. Okay, then we move on to March. So again, March is this whole first quarter of the year where it's pretty intense for you. We're moving into the Star. But I actually think that's a good card. It feels like by March, there's more faith is restored. There's more hope in your future. So even though things maybe haven't felt that great, it's all of a sudden in March, you're starting to see promise and hope. And I think you're probably feeling a little better. I hope by now, in March, you've kind of made your decision, you understand, whatever it is for you. Again, it could be love, it could be career. I just feel like it could be anything, and I want you to just listen to your gut on what it is for you. There is a promise now in March of a better future. There's a sense of hope. There's a sense of fulfillment, and there's you have put in the time that you needed. You've gotten clarity. You have a better understanding now. So even though the road you're going to have to take is probably still hard for you, this could be you're upending your whole life. It could be that intense for you. By March, I feel like it's not gonna feel as bad. It's not gonna feel as intense, and really like more hope and happiness and light is coming in, which is, I think, gonna help you again just to keep moving forward. And then April, we have the Two of Cups. I think April's gonna be like a kind of like a much needed break from the intensity of what's been going on for you so far. And we are focusing on relationships here. And this could, again, it could be an actual relationship. It can also be like friendship. So maybe what you really need is, you just need to like get back in touch with who you were as a person. You want to like establish those friendship connections. You want to establish like even a relationship with yourself. This could just be like a sign that you are renewing your own love for yourself, because self-love is like the ultimate love. I mean, other love is wonderful. And I think that having like other people's love and having relationships is a wonderful thing to have in your life. And it's even better when you already love yourself. So if you already love yourself and you already feel fulfilled, having someone else come in can just like accentuate and make things better. But you have to have self-love first. And I feel like for some reason, the Two of Cups here, for a lot of you, is going to have more to do with self-love than it is going to be with another person. But I'm not saying, for some of you, it could be someone else coming into your life. Really, we're looking at our feelings, unions, our emotions. There's like a promise here of some support and some laughter, some good times, basically. And like I said, I really think April's going to be kind of like a much needed respite from the first part of your year, and kind of showing that promise there was like this promise that came in March, and April, I think, is kind of showing you like, hey, good times really are ahead of you. You know what? You have decided to walk away, or you've already walked away, or you're about to walk away for a reason. So it's almost like life is showing you in April the promise of your future. And I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of good signs that come to you. You may have an admirer. There may be an admirer. I do think for some of you, I feel that. But again, I feel like the best relationships, and I am feeling like a relationship aspect here of like a person, but I just really believe that like there's something different about being in a relationship with someone where you like are so unsure of yourself that like you're kind of clinging on to that person to give you happiness. That doesn't always feel that good. It feels way better to be in a relationship where like both of you already like love about yourselves. You already like have your own life, and you're not like clinging on to each other, but you are just enhancing what like the beauty that's already in your life. So you guys are just enhancing all the goodness, and it's like you can share each other's lives, but you're not like desperate for it. And I don't know, saying that just made me think of, that's probably like part of a situation that some of you are in now, and you don't want that for yourself anymore. So you don't want like a relationship that's like based off of like, I need you for my happiness. You have decided that that isn't serving you anymore. You are looking for a relationship that's more mature, in the sense that you guys are two complete people that have created your own happiness, and now you're just ready to like share it with each other in a very healthy, stable way. And I really feel like for some of you, that's really what this year is going to be about. So again, I feel like some happiness coming, and it's going to continue for you in May. So in May, we have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Pentacles are, you know, that like building material, like just, I always feel like Pentacles are like just like the real world stuff going on in our lives. We are trying to create our own stability, our own foundation. And I think it's like funny to come after what I just said in the Two of Cups. But for me, it just reinforces the fact that whatever it is that's coming into your life, like don't lose yourself. So this good thing can come in, and it can really help and accentuate. It can help ease the burdens you've been dealing with, but your focus should still be on what you are creating for yourself, because what you create for yourself in life, hopefully no one can take away from you. And that's really what you need. You need to have like a foundation of happiness and stability that you have created for yourself. And I feel that May is going to either show this to you or is going to bring it to you. And if you're able to like achieve that, whatever like else is coming into your life is just going to make it better. But if it goes away, you're going to be okay no matter what. So I feel like that is my theme for you, is you are going to be okay no matter what. No matter what you have to let go of, no matter what new thing comes into your life, no matter if a person comes into your life or not. If it happens, it's wonderful. We want that. But if it doesn't happen, you're going to be okay, and you're going to move forward, and you are going to get it in one form or another. But you're not willing to settle anymore. You are not willing to put yourself in a cage anymore. You have done the work. You understand the potential and the hope for your own life, and you are making stuff happen for you. And so that in May, I think is going to become stronger. So we're going to have this theme of like betterment in our lives, of being willing to work hard towards our goal, of being willing to open ourselves up to like greater things in our lives, whether it be through the situations we create for ourselves or the possibility of people that are coming into our lives in a more significant way. And then I feel like this theme kind of continues into June, because we have the monarch, which in this deck is actually the Emperor. And I feel like this monarch is you. I really feel like this stands for you and the really wonderful place that you can be in by June. So again, we have this theme of creating things, of building things, and not just like things that can be taken away from us or things that other people bring us that can lead us down to a road where we end up with nothing. This is like creating things for yourself that are all you and that cannot be taken away. Very solid, stable. There's like a word I want to say, permanent. Something very permanent that you're creating for yourself, and that is going to be the name of the game in June. And also there's like a possibility of kind of changing. So we might have some new opportunities, new changes, and these things are positive. Possibly, again, there is like, some of these cards do speak to the possibility of someone else coming in, but the theme is, again, you build your own happiness first, so that when that person comes in, they can just enhance what you already have, but it's a more healthy and positive relationship, which is really what you're needing. I feel like that's what you need more than anything. We are building a better future here. So I feel like by June, we've already decided that we don't like what's going on. We don't want this in our lives anymore. We're going to go through the emotional, we're going to go through the hard stuff. We're going to get hope. We're going to look for new happiness. We're ready for newness. We're ready for fulfillment, and we're willing to do the work. We are willing to build the foundation for ourselves to create the life we want, because what we have now is not serving us anymore. And the monarch, the June's a great place to be. So I'm hoping, I really feel like there's just going to be like some signs or some opportunities for you that will basically restore your faith in what's happening with your life and show you that you are definitely indeed on the right path. And when you chose to walk away, you made the right choice for yourself. Because we're leveling up here in this year. Then in July, we have the 10 of Cups. So again, it feels like July is again a much needed relaxation or break from some of the hard work we've been doing so far this year. So I think the 10 of Cups is like showing that you are going to reach some emotional fulfillment, happiness, laughter, love, travel, new experiences, new unions. There's just like fulfillment here. And I just, again, just so strongly feel like for you guys, if you want to get here, you want like this to possibly be someone else is coming into your life, or you have walked away from something and you felt like, now I have nothing, I'm like standing on the edge of a cliff here. There's like the promise that by the time you get to June and July, we are rebuilding our foundations, things are making sense, we have created like a new structure for ourselves. And because it's more true to who we are, it's more genuine, and it comes from us and not from somebody else, we now like have reached like a new level of emotional happiness and fulfillment. So like I see July being a month where you're like, Man, like the first part of the year kind of sucked for me, but I am so glad that I did what I did. I'm so glad that I let that thing go. I'm so glad I walked away, because now it's July and I feel happy. I feel fulfilled. I feel hopeful. And I feel like a new appreciation and love for myself. And it's just like exactly what you've been needing this whole time. And now we're kind of seeing it come in different forms during like the summer months. And this makes me feel really happy for you. And I hope that this eases your burden. If you are still, I mean, we're still in January. If you're still in like the contemplative stage of like knowing you need to leave a situation or leave a person and you're just really scared for your future, I hope this gives you some kind of peace to know that it is most likely the right choice, and it's going to lead to like so much more love, beauty, happiness, and lightness coming into your life this year. And you deserve it. Love yourself enough, build yourself that new foundation, because there's better things out there for you in the world, and 2022 wants to bring it to you. Okay. All right. So now we have August, and we have the Warrior of Wands. In this deck, the Warrior stands for the Knight. So I'm just seeing like happy travel again. I'm feeling goodness, right? There might be some good trips you're taking. Some like, if there is someone new in your life, you might be like venturing out together. It's summer, you're getting to know each other, but you're in some kind of like crossroad. So we're continuing to see changes for the better that have really come out of like the work we did and kind of the good things that started coming into our life to this point. I think August overall is going to, again, just be about happiness, success, feeling like things are getting better, letting people into your life. If this for you is really about another person or people or relationships or family. If this is for you, it seems to be more about work or some kind of other commitment you've made that you've been wanting to walk away from, a project, a venture, a business venture, something like that, and you've chosen to walk away from it, then this might be a period of like new partnerships, new opportunities coming in that just feel more true to who you are. But overall, we're still slowly seeing like that change for the better. That is just, I mean, you're going to have a good summer. I really feel like your summer is going to be great. Okay, winter is going to be whatever. I think spring is going to start bringing in some good stuff, and then summer is going to be great for you. So again, I hope that gives you some peace of mind. Then we have September, and September is the Five of Pentacles. So again, we might hit another phase where we have some solitude, some self-doubt, some confusion. There might be a situation that happens. There may be a loss you might experience, or you might just be feeling a lot of pressure. So maybe like all the things that have been coming into your life, like all of a sudden your life went from being like just you alone, you're kind of like, again, you're like that hermit. And now all of a sudden the summer came and it's like everything's moving, things are driving. So it's possible that by September, this Five of Pentacles might just indicate that we're just feeling a little overburdened or pressured, and we're starting to withdraw because we just kind of need some time. There might be some triggers or something that happens that kind of connects back to like how this whole process started in the first place. So there might just be more work you need to do, more stuff that you need to move through, you need to deal with, and that is going to come up for you in September. However, I do see it kind of coming into October as well. So for October, we have the Spirit of Wands, and this spirit in this deck stands for the King. So this is like about, the Spirit's like, I think, the ultimate fulfillment of like these court cards, or the King, and this is like your highest self, right? So, and there is some things here about construction. So, right. So again, this theme of like building, creating, and you might have to just switch off your emotions for one reason or another, because you have to focus on like the task at hand. There might be some like coldness towards your emotional aspect. There might be some shutting down emotionally for you in October, and that could possibly be coming out of whatever happened for you in September. So whether it was just you like being triggered by like things that happened in the past, or something from the past coming back and like almost haunting you again, and it kind of puts you back in that funk, even though you were like doing good over here, and then you're kind of back in a funk, or so whatever it is, the loss, the doubt, is going to carry over into October, but it feels like we're going to be able to move past that stuck, lost, isolated feeling and move towards realizing, like, you know what? I have the drive, I have the ambition, I have what it takes. I'm going to not let whatever this is get the best of me, because I have worked so hard this year to create a better life for myself, and I am not going to lose it. I've already lost something once. I'm not going to lose it again. And so this is like a promising card. Although in order to do that, though, you might have to like guard your emotions, so to speak. And that might be hard for you, but you might feel like self-centered, or like you have to be self-centered in a way to get through whatever this is. But I feel like it's going to pass, and it doesn't seem like it's going to carry over more than a couple of months. And then we're into November. Okay, and November is our Six of Pentacles, and this is about promise. So like, yeah, so this is not going to last long. So now we have the promise. You may get some money. You're going to get like something that's really going to benefit you. So you might get some kind of gift from another, or another person might come in and really help you move forward. You may be that person that gives to another. So we have like some renewed activity, we have renewed hope, we have promise, we have some investment. There it might be a reinvestment. So it's kind of like things started going good, then we kind of hit a funk, we got out of it, and now we're ready to reinvest into the good things that had come. Because again, I think we're making this decision that I walked away from what I walked away from for a reason, and I have done the work. I am moving through it. I have had good things in my life, and this kind of thing kind of threw me off for a couple months, but I'm taking it back. I'm taking that good stuff. I'm not letting it go. And so you're some kind of good news, love, and then there's also possibility of like a new love affair, or again, if there was something going on here that you kind of stepped away from or you kind of shut down from, I think you're going to be able to open up to that person or that situation again. You're going to get past your difficulties basically, and that is going to continue for the end of the year. So our Warrior of Swords, the Warrior again, we have another Warrior, and this one stands for the Knight of Swords, and that's just going to further like the security, the potential. We're like moving, we're moving again towards a positive place. We were able to like take that promise and that opportunity that came. We were able to move past the difficulty that kind of showed up for us. And now we are like moving towards good stuff. So you're going to have like good news coming in the last parts of your month. So kind of your theme is like January, February, and March, it's really going to be about you. You're moving through, you're deciding you're leaving something behind, you're moving towards something better. Don't rush this period, especially if this is like you being alone and you're like, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to do this. Just do it. It's not going to last forever, as you can see. But if you're really able to fully give yourself wholeheartedly to yourself, it's really going to make a difference for the rest of your year. Right, then we have April, May, June. So now we have good things coming in. We have decided what we wanted. We have, at this point, I wonder if we've already left the situation. We are building new things for ourselves. We're letting love, we're letting our emotions come to like a forefront. We are accepting that if this has to do with like business or your career, or if you're a student, I think, this could really signify in May that you have made a new commitment to your career, or you may have found a new path you want to go down. But we're building things, and because we've taken the time to do the work, we're taking the time to build our own foundation, something that we are standing on our own 2 feet, basically. And we're able to do it now in a more stable way, where here it might have been more emotional, a little bit harder, a little bit more challenging. Now we're feeling more grounded. And because we were willing to do that, we've got the good times are coming in. We're letting it in. We're opening up. We're going to hit a little bump in the road here, September and October, but don't let it stop you, because there's a lot of good news and promise and hope, and that stuff is coming to you by the end of the year. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get a couple oracle cards. Does pile 2 need to know to help them as they go through their year. I'm gonna take this one. So the first one, that's really actually perfect for you. Your dreams need a practical plan. And yeah, I feel like that's what this is about, right? So we know what we want. We're fighting between what's been going on, recognizing it doesn't serve us, wanting something new, having to let go and leave things. And this like period of being a hermit, like this period here is when we create the plan that's going to help us leave that situation and move towards something better. Okay, and then this one just keeps sticking in my hand. So communication is key. For me, this communication is key. I just heard like it's communication with yourself. So I think that the communication here is you being honest with yourself about the situation you're currently in, what you're actually feeling, what is the reality, what do you think can you actually hold on to it? Do you need to just let it go? Taking the time to like talk with yourself, be with yourself, and be clear about what you want, why you need to leave, why you can't stay, and your hopes you have for yourself. So this communication is self-communication. I feel that very strongly. And that is going, these two, and I think through that communicating with yourself, it is going to help you create that plan that you need to get the like strength, the bravery, and the motivation to walk away from what no longer serves you. Because if you're able to walk away from what no longer serves you, there's a lot of promise here in the second half and end of your year. All right, pile 2. I'm going to leave you here. I am wishing you the best of luck for your year, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the World card from the Light Seer's Tarot, which was paired with the Amythyst, then this is your reading. So I'm doing this a little different. What I will do is, since this is such a big reading for your year, I'm going to lay out the cards first and then pause. I would like you to take the time to really look at the cards, see if you feel like it reflects you or it resonates with you, you feel like a connection to it, and then we'll delve into the reading. And so what does pile 3 need to know about the year ahead, 2022? What can they expect? That one popped out. I'm gonna save this for the general theme, because that's where I feel like it needs to be. Okay, so what does pile 3 need to know about their year? This one. All right, here we go. So we have January, February. Well, we have a lot of wands already. March, April, interesting combo. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And let me make room here. Our theme is the 2 of Wands. I'm going to pause here, take a moment, look, see if this resonates with you, and then we will go start our reading. Okay, pile 3, I moved some of the cards off camera because they were hard to see, but hopefully you can see them now. We're gonna get into the reading, so I hope you took the time, kind of looked at the cards, see if these cards speak to you and you're sure this is your reading. And now we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna pull this one out. Like, do I dare pull it out? I have it all tucked in. So our overall theme is the 2 of Wands. And then we have like several wands. So the first thing I'm thinking of is I feel like you are kind of in, and the wands themselves can be like, you're in like the contemplative stage, beginning stages. I'm feeling like such a free-spirited, youthful energy, like that you're just someone that's just entering this phase of your life. Possibly you're going on your own for the first time. You may be like, because of the wands, and that's more of like a mindset, you may have been like finishing college, finishing your studies, and now you're ready to like go off into the world. There's just this like sense of like you in a period of time where you just get to be your true amazing self. You get to explore what you want out of life. I feel like you're really free of any major commitments. You're like mostly free of burdens. You're like youthful. You could be young, like in your 20s, or you're just like in a youthful phase where all of a sudden you have your life back again. And there's just this general energy of exploration, of you being like, hey man, this is who I am, world, this is what I want, and I am like ready to go out and achieve it. I'm ready to like be by myself, find myself, explore myself. I feel like there's also like promise of really good times with other people, and just that you're like in that period of life where you are becoming you. So I just heard Saturn return. So if you believe in the Saturn return, that's actually one of the things about astrology that I do really believe in. And so for some of you, this might be like your Saturn return, or like I said, you're like ending. Your life is like naturally progressing from one phase to another. And I think we see that here with like the Tower pair with the World. But in this case, it doesn't feel bad. Like the Tower here to me doesn't feel bad at all. And I really appreciate that in the Light Seer Tarot, the Tower is like natural. It's like a natural habitat. And so it doesn't feel like some kind of man-made created thing that's distracting before you. This just feels like a natural evolution of the phase of the life that you're in. And there's just so much movement, beauty, exploration, and just you being you. So that's kind of the energy I'm getting off these cards. And it feels really good, to be honest. It feels good to like feel this. So if this sounds like you and where you're at in the world, like if you see this is like the January card, and she's just so free and moving, and like if this speaks to you, this is definitely your reading, because this feels like such a specific energy to me. And it's all about you, man. And it's like it's just a great feeling. All right, hopefully we clarified if this reading is definitely for you. So again, the overall theme is the Two of Wands. And we're focusing on change, growth, career. So you're really looking at like your working environment, your career, ideas you have, structure. That is like the overall theme of your year, is you improving you, you being you, you learning about you, and you taking those ideas that you've had and like going out in the world and pursuing them. So really great energy. Okay, so let's start with January. So again, January we have the Page of Cups, and I really like the combination of like beginning and end here. And that's really kind of, for me, what speaks to like we're naturally flowing from one thing to another. There's like a natural progression. So we have like a lot of endings here. We have like the Tower and the World, and we have like several tens here, several tens. But we also have a lot of things that point to newness. So I think even though the World, it's like an ending and a beginning, and then we have some threes, we have our pages, we have, so again, several pages. Like, wait, do you have all the pages? Oh my gosh, you do. You have the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Cups. So I really hope if you're like, I hope that's a sign for you that you're just like you're like, beginning like just to do amazing things in every aspect of your life, and you're just free to explore, and you're in that like beginning stage. But that, I don't think I've ever had a reading in my life where like every single court card of like the same one showed up. Pretty cool. All right. So let's start again with January. So January is going to be like, I think, where this whole year begins for you, in the sense that I feel like this is the time where you're going to decide, you know what, I'm ready for new experiences. I'm ready for change. Some of you may have just graduated from your program, you know, like maybe you had a winter graduation in December and now you're getting ready to go off into the world. Maybe you've decided on like new goals you have for the new year, and so you're like ready to start to work towards this change. But there's just like beginningness, newness. There could be this could be very related to work, or you know, also I just keep feeling like that school aspect of like finishing up your studies and then moving on to the work world. Or perhaps you're like leaving home for the first time and you're ready to start engaging in things that you've thought of, pursuits that have interested you for a long time. But January is going to be the month where you kind of take stock of like where you're at in life, what you want to achieve, and like what kind of energy you want to bring in. So it feels like mostly an okay month for you. It doesn't feel like anything major is happening, but it is like the seeds are being planted this month for how the rest of your year is going to go. So it's kind of like a planning month for you. You might be planning some great adventures. You might be planning things with other people. You might just be like setting a lot of intentions for yourself. Or like I said, like just naturally flowing or getting ready to flow from like one phase to another. And then we move into February. So February is the Three of Wands, and this is where we kind of start testing things out. So any of the like, I think ideas, goals, dreams you had in January, by the time February comes, you're ready for action now. So you've kind of planted the seeds in January. Maybe you've made the plans, you've bought the tickets, like whatever it is for you that you have to do. And now February, we're ready to go. We're going off. Again, this is new, but we have what we need in the moment, and that's like all we need. So I think our theme too is like, do we have what we need right now? Yes. Okay, we're good, and we're going to move on. And you might be like starting to test the waters a little. So you're like, okay, I kind of want to do this thing, or I kind of decided I have this belief about life, or I have like this theory about this is where my course is going to go. And then February is the time where you're kind of like testing the waters, you're expanding your boundaries. There's a lot of promise for you in February and some really good things, unexpected. So you might have like an unexpected opportunity come up. There might be like a decision you have to make. So maybe you have like more than one opportunity. Like you might have thought you were going to do one thing, and then maybe something else really great came up for you. So now you have to choose. And it's kind of like a win-win for you. Like either way will take you down a path, and it's kind of like you just have to decide what feels right for you. But there's just like newness here, promise. If you are leaving school, this might be the time where you get your first job in your field. You might have to choose between two jobs that you were like hoping you would get, and then somehow you ended up getting both of them, and now you have to choose which one you want to go. There's just like a lot of promise here. There's partnership with like business, there's newness. You might sign a new contract, and just kind of goodness coming your way. And then by March, we have the Tower. Okay. And the Tower is actually, I think some of the harder cards in the tarot deck are actually tend to be my most favorite, because even like each card has its like light side and its darker, its shadow side. And for the Tower, I know it can be hard sometimes, but for me, the Tower always comes with like letting something go because something better is coming its way. So perhaps that's going to lead, like if you are the one that like ended up having to choose between two career paths or two jobs, you might be able to finally let go of one and then pick which one is going to be the better one. So you might be able to make that decision by March. It also could mean like something unexpected is going to happen. We could run into some possible problems, possibly some financial problems, some business problems, or kind of like what I said in the beginning. I know that like traditionally, that's kind of what the Tower stands for, but I just don't feel that for you. I feel like in this, especially because it's paired with the World, I feel like this is more of a natural thing. So like you've kind of made a plan, you set your intentions, you probably got some opportunities, and so now you're leaving behind the old and getting ready for the new. And I just like, I'm feeling travel really strongly. Like it's kind of like Possibly what is you're letting go of is just the stability you have right now, because you're getting ready to venture off to something new. And the only way to do that is to let go of what you have already. So maybe you're like, you know what? I'm about to leave the city. I'm done with this place. I'm done. I'm going to move forward. I want to have some new experiences. And so I am like, you're knowingly letting go of structures that you have built in your life, because there's just newness and opportunity here, that you're in the time of your life where, again, like I feel like you're free and you want to explore yourself, you want to explore the world. And so in order to kind of jump off and explore the world, sometimes we have to let go of the stuff that we have right now. And that could just be as simple as being like, all right, I'm going to leave this safety net I built for newness and journey and like adventure. And I love that it comes. So March, I think, is going to be about tying up your loose ends, getting things done. Possibly something unexpected comes. You're going to be like, you've already kind of made your decisions. You might be spending a lot of time by yourself, but it's all leading to April, where we come to the world. So it's like we let go of things. We kind of broke down our structure in March, and now in April, we have change, growth, new opportunity. We've left the old behind. We have fully embraced what we want to do with our life, and we are moving forward in April. We are taking risks. If we were feeling like blocked in any way, it's kind of like opening up now. We are like looking for change. We're entering that phase, and we're like ready to take these ideas we had and turn them into action, turn them into adventure. And April's, for many of you, might be the month that this all starts, if it didn't already start in March for you. So gosh, I just like, this is like the best phase of your life. I guess I just heard that. I wanted to say this is like one of the best feelings, but then phase of your life came up. Whatever is happening for you, like this is happening. I just feel the need to tell you to embrace it, because you are going to look back on this time of your life as probably one of the best times you ever experienced. And I just feel so many good things in store for you. So I'm kind of excited for you. And it seems like, again, we're going to plan it out. We're going to let go of the stuff we need to let go of. And we're going to, by the time we hit like the late spring, we are going to be moving on. And then we come to May. And then May is our Page of Swords. And Page of Swords continues to talk about unexpected development. So there's a lot here about unexpected things or new opportunities, which makes me think that you might not actually have a plan at all. Like your plan in January might just be like, man, I want to travel. I just finished school, or I'm just starting this job in a few months, or like, I don't want to do any of that right now. I just want to like explore the world. I want to venture out. I want like those experiences. I just want a period of my life where I can just be. And that just keeps coming up like over and over in these cards. So it might be that you only plan like one step at a time. And then when you get to that next step, then something unexpected that happens that takes you to the next step and the next step. So essentially you're going with the flow. You're just like really open to life and what life can bring you. And because of that, life keeps bringing you things because you're open to it. You're willing to just put yourself out there, be free, and then kind of come what may. And so I think that's why we're kind of seeing with some of these cards that like sense of like something unexpected comes. We have some change here. We have growth here. We have like possible a different new opportunity coming, another opportunity coming. We have plans coming together more for us in May. We might have to adjust some of our plans a little in May. You might find some love. You might find someone. Now this Page of Swords is like a Taurus type person. So it could be that someone comes into your life that is like actually a Taurus, or they have that kind of energy. So they might be loyal. They might be like stable for you. They might also be kind of stubborn, or it's kind of you yourself. So you might be going through that where you're like, there's just that sense of that personality type that is you. Or maybe you're like feeling like you had like a plan, so you're like really wanting to stick to it, and then there's changes happening, so you're resisting it, like that stubbornness. But eventually I think you're going to be able to open up and understand that like your plans are workable, they're movable, because that's really ultimately what you want. It's just like that free, oh my, that card won't stop, that like free flowingness. So there might be some adjustments needed in May. Some things might change for you, and there might be some unexpected things you have to deal with. But again, I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like it's just like a natural progression of where you are in life. And if you can go with the flow, I really feel like life is calling on you to go with the flow this year in order to have this experience that you're seeing before you. Now we're on to June, and then we have the 10 of Wands. So it's really interesting because like we said, like May might bring some unexpected change, possibly need to like, especially with your change in your plans or a change in like kind of your trajectory. And then that's definitely reinforced with the 10 of Wands in June. And so we could be looking at a complete move. You might actually decide like, okay, I was kind of traveling and I thought I would go back to this place, but I'm actually here now and I really like it. So I'm just going to stay, or I'm going to move on because something changed for me in May and this isn't working anymore. So I'm just going to move to the next one. So some kind of major change is going to happen in June, which I feel like is really kind of an outgrowth of whatever unexpected occurred for you in May. And you're going to have to like almost revisit your plan and possibly execute a new plan, or maybe execute more of a plan than you may have already. So there's like there's still this like feeling of newness coming your way, changes coming your way, kind of moving from one thing to another, letting life flow, and kind of letting go of your boundaries and your borders. So we need to like, any burdens we may have faced to this point, any like thing that kind of got us stuck in May, we need to like kind of just, if we're feeling overburdened by it, if we're feeling like, okay, I kind of got what I wanted. And this I think is so true, because I feel like, I mean, if you decide that you're just going to go on this epic venture in your life, like this is the year I'm going to be free, and it's really awesome in the moment, but then at some point reality does hit of like, okay, I'm actually kind of homeless right now because I've been traveling for like 5 or 6 months, and now it's getting hard, and I've been kind of alone a lot, and now I'm like feeling sad about that. So you might be hitting a bump in the road, and you might be kind of facing the more of the reality of what the undertaking you took of like, yeah, it was exciting and fun, but now I'm kind of noticing these other things are coming up. For now, you're going to have to think about, okay, so this is happening. Might be feeling a little like tired now. I'm feeling a little overburdened. Maybe I'm running out of money. So basically like we need a new plan, or we need a different way. We need to move on. So I'm guessing wherever you're at by May is not going to it's not your end point, and it's not really going to be like the ultimate goal for you. And so by June, you're going to realize, okay, it's kind of time for the next adventure. But it's all about like moving forward. We're moving forward, and inevitably we're going to hit a bump in the road, but we are still free. We are still wild in that sense. We're still open to what life has to bring us. And so the way will come, and we're going to make a plan to like when that way does come, we're going to try to recognize it and then move forward. And then we're going into July, which is the Page of Cups. And so the Page of Cups is also like Pisces. So again, a Pisces person could come into your life, or you yourself could be a Pisces, or the characteristics of what make a Pisces could be things that open up for you in July. So for example, if you've been feeling, you might be feeling now more sensitive, more emotional, this like impressionable. Again, we're feeling like youthful, we're feeling warm. So you might have a person that comes into your life that has those qualities, or just because of you just going through what you've been through so far, you're feeling more open, you're feeling warmer, you're feeling more vulnerable. You might be feeling emotional because again, you hit like a roadblock possibly, or you might be re-embracing like your youthfulness. If you were traveling with someone, which is possible, although it does feel like it's more of a solitary journey, perhaps you met someone along the way, and perhaps they left you kind of in the dust, like maybe they decided to go a different way. But by August, by July, this is going to be apparent. If this was like a person that caused like whatever blockage happened here, just let them go. I'll just let them go, move on. Their person's on their own journey, you're on your own journey. Or again, this could seriously be you. Like perhaps like you have become more sensitive and emotional. You've become the flaky person. Like you're the one that's kind of flaking out on a situation and moving on. And that's going to become pretty intense in July. So there, but at the same time, it's also like a mental state, that it's an emotional state and a mental state you're in, because if there's still like things are still unfolding for you, like your life is expanding. I feel like you are probably getting some more clarity, but it's like again in the beginning stages of where you want to go for work, what projects you want to work on, the things you're really wishing for and yearning for in life. And it's just going to, so either you're going to have like situations or opportunities that occur in July, or you're just going to come again to a natural conclusion of, what is all this for? What do I really want out of life? Like, I'm ready to get out of the planning stages. I feel like I've connected my mind with my emotions. I've been able to like become more of a solid person at this point, and I'm ready to start again thinking of me, thinking of my growth and where I want to go from here in my life. And then that leads us into August, which is our 10 of Cups. I feel like a promise that there's going to be a return to some good times, some emotional fulfillment, possibly like you might be reuniting with someone else. So again, if this was a person that kind of flaked out in July, perhaps they're going to come back, perhaps they had to leave, or perhaps like you guys just had to go your own way. You might meet up, or you might just be in a new situation that just feels really good. It feels stable. There's like a lot of love, a lot of openness. There's like home. There's relaxation, there's fun times. So just like good times, like August feels like a pretty lighthearted, good time for you. I feel like a lot of, you're in the sun, you're outside, you're just like enjoying the moment, and you're surrounded by good people. And this might again lead to another like change, or like another, you might go back home and visit home if your home is good and then leave again. Or there might be something unconventional. You might be doing something or being in a situation that's not like everyday life, and you're just really embracing what life is giving you in August. Then we move on to September. In September, we have the 10 of Swords. So again, the 10 of Swords can be a hard card to deal with. I think it's really interesting that it comes after the 10 of Cups in August, but it makes me wonder if just something is just going to occur and you're going to end up being in a situation where you just feel stuck. You were maybe put in between like different people. You were stuck in between different situations. You felt like you knew like there was some kind of choice you needed to make, but there wasn't really a good way for you. But the 10 of Swords is also a promise of an ending, like the worst is over, and there's like respite, there's like relief. So maybe for you, it's just more about like getting after like the busyness or like the excitement that's been going on, that September is going to be more about getting back to you again, getting back to like your path, letting go of any burdens, anything that might be weighing you down, and taking care of. And if there's been like unfinished business, like there might be stuff that you kind of blew off. Maybe you're blowing off bills, maybe you're blowing off responsibility because you just want to be like carefree and have fun. It might come to like bite you in the butt basically in September, and you're gonna have to like kind of get back to reality a little and take care of the business you have to take care of situations, and get yourself unstuck. Also, it might just be like you realizing that I never want to go back to where I started in January, and it had just become so stagnant for you, and you're like this is just a month where you realize I really need to clear away so much from my life, because I see now the potential that life can offer me, and I never want to be stuck in that place I was before I chose to go on this journey this year. You want progress, you want relief, but you might have to again kind of deal with reality a little in September, or it's going to totally weigh you down. Okay, now we're moving on to October, and we have the Knight of Pentacles, a promise of travel, a promise of promotion. So I wonder if some of you are going on some kind of thing for work, or you're almost taking a gap year, and by October, you're gonna have some kind of potential come in again, kind of dealt with what had to be dealt with, and now you're ready to get back on this, like, okay, I'm back to like, I want to pursue my happiness, I want to pursue my life, I want to like pursue travel, I want to see the world, I want to like have experiences, I want to grow, I want to use what I've learned and turn it into something. And so you kind of get back in that groove in October, which tells me that whatever's happening in September is pretty temporary, and it's like jam-packed between 2 good months on either side. So when it comes, just do what you got to do, take care of your business, and then it seems like life is going to kind of pick back up for you. And then we go into November. We have the Page of Pentacles. So again, we have our like last page, and this I think is where I feel like by November we're going to start thinking about building something in our life again. I feel like by this point you've like had most of the, like, let me reword this. I think by November, most of the adventure is coming to a close. I feel like that hit you a little bit in September, where you were like, okay, it's time, it might be time to get back into the reality now. It's the fall again. And then October, you might have had the opportunity, just one more opportunity, one more adventure. And now we are into November, and we're ready to get serious. We're ready to start building things. We've kind of done the work we need to do. We had the fun we needed to have. We had the experiences we wanted. And now we have to start thinking about, what am I building in my life? Am I going to move on with this career? What is my status? So we're going to be thinking more about you as a professional, you and like your status in life, you and like endeavors that are important to you. You might be thinking about wanting to build something for yourself, build something with another person, especially if like some of these pages and knights were like other people. Perhaps there's someone that has come along that you want to build something with, and you guys are both ready to do that in November. Whatever it is, November is kind of going to be, I think it's time. I feel way better. I feel good now. I feel better. I feel like I kind of sowed my wild oats a little, and now I'm ready to build wonderful things for myself. And now I kind of know what I want, because I took the time to just be with myself, and now I'm going to move on to action. So then we're ending in December. In December, we have the Seven of Swords, and this is where we might start reality is kind of hitting us again. So reality probably hit us in May or June, and then reality kind of came back in September. We were able to like escape it for a little, but now like by December, reality's hitting hard again. It's been a year now, and there's still obstacles, perhaps like still some unfinished business, or now we have the obstacle of like, we kind of fought for our freedom and we embraced it, but now we need to fight for our stability and what we want to grow in life. And you might be just so tired at this point and be like, I don't know if I even have the energy. Like, I don't know what to do. I've been like on my own for so long. How do I make things happen now? How do I like start building roots? But the Seven of Swords is always about that, like having to go through like one more hump, having to just get the energy somehow for one more obstacle, one more challenge, but with the promise that the energy, what you need, will come to you like in your final hour. So keep that in mind, that I feel like the efforts you make, the attempts, you're going to get what you need. And there is some effort needed for you to like, whatever it is that comes out of all this and like what you decide to do. I feel like at this point, I'm feeling like, okay, now I'm ready for a career. Maybe now I'm ready for I've been kind of like a free bird. Now I'm ready for a relationship. Now I'm ready to like make some roots. Now I know where I want to be. Now I know what I want to do. And now we have the challenge of making it happen. And so I think that's really what the Seven of Swords says here. But you're going to be able to do it, I feel like. And even though things might still be uncertain for you in some ways, just going by the whole theme, it's just about letting things flow. That's just something that keeps coming up for you. You are just improving yourself. So really, I think this is a pretty good year for you. And I know it could, I just, when I like reading this though, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, yeah, but like COVID's still going bad, and how are we supposed to travel? How are we supposed to do these things? But I hope for you, you find a way. I mean, I want to say for some of you, this might be something that happens internally, like maybe you don't, but I don't actually feel that way. I feel like somehow you're going to find a way. Even despite kind of like what's going on in the world right now, you're going to find a way. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to use the Moonology Oracle cards. So let's give what are some other things that pile 3 needs to know about their year. I just dropped a bunch of cards. I'm going to try this again. What does pile 3 need to know about their year? How can we help them in this? Okay. I didn't mean to do that. These cards are like sticky. I need to like break them in or something. Actually, this one. Oh, it's so weird. This same one came up for pile 1, I think. Bring love into the situation, which I feel like is actually pretty fitting for you as well, because just even with the general theme of the 2 of Wands, there's just this feeling of self-love, self-growth, adventures. Even during the small periods that are showing where there might be some challenges or obstacles, just keep, really I feel like it's saying keep your loving, free spirit. Your like loving free spirit is going to dominate this year. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you move forward to the next phase of your life. So even when it feels like you're getting stuck or your plans aren't working out or like reality's coming to bite you in the butt, try to keep that sense of love and just keep bringing it so that you can keep moving forward. And we're going to get one more. And actually, I want this one. Oh, this is actually perfect for you. Surrender to the divine, which for me, I read the divine as like the universe, right? Like let the universe guide you, like surrender to it, right? So kind of going back to what we said, like life is going to flow for you. Be open to the possibilities. Just surrender yourself to like, you might be starting out with like a half a plan, but it's okay because you're going to be open. You're going to do one step at a time and just surrender to like letting life bring you what it will, and you are going to be okay. All right, so pile 3, I feel happy and excited for you. I really hope that this fits and kind of becomes what your year is about. It's going to be a good year for you, and I really hope you're able to end the year with being able to create the things that you want so you can have sustained happiness in your life. I am wishing you the best, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye. Hi, pile 4. If you chose the World Cup from the Wild Unknown Tarot, which was paired with the Shadow Crystal, then this is your reading. So for today, we're going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to lay out all the cards first, and then I'm going to give you a chance to look through and see if the cards really speak to you or resonate with you so that you know that this is definitely your pile, and then we will begin the reading. So what does pile 4 need to know about their coming year, 2022? What advice or situations can they use or look forward to this year? Well, I feel like really torn between these two, which never happens. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like this wants to go first, and then it's this. Okay. And actually, I feel like this is your general atmosphere, which is going to be the 4 of Cups. So I'm going to put that to the side. Okay, let's do this. We have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and then finally December with our overall theme. I'm gonna move this right off the bat. I'm feeling some like serious stuff for you, pile 4, in a couple areas of your life this year. So again, I'm gonna kind of pause it here. I want you to take the time, and then we will start your reading. I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna push these up. Okay, so pile 4, hopefully you've looked at the cards, you figured out if these are for you. So very interesting. The first thing I'm noticing is how many cups and pentacles are in this spread and how they're like almost interchanged. It goes like cups, pentacles, and cups, pentacles, cups, pentacles. That we have the 4 of cups in as the general focus. So I guess right from the start, I feel like a heaviness coming off of this reading and like a sense of disappointment, discontentment, not getting what we want, maybe not even being aware of what we have, like struggling emotionally and with the things you have in your life, the things you've created. It is like you are actually achieving things, you've had some accomplishments, but for some reason, like you are not seeing what is in front of you, or despite any successes you've had or is having, you're still like emotionally unfulfilled at the present time. Although I feel like by the end of the year, that seems like it's about to change for you. But I feel like this might be where we're starting off the year. And I think you yourself, just seeing the Hermit being in January, which is the month we're in now, I feel like you yourself are aware of this, have become aware of this discontentment. There's like something feels off balance to me. I feel like you are totally off balance, like work-life balance or life emotional balance is like messed up right now in it's just off. And we need to figure out what's happening here. Okay, so we're gonna start with the middle, which is our overall kind of theme or feel for the year, and you have the 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is really about that wanting and desiring and like needing something, which you might actually already have in your life, but for some reason you're unaware of it or you're discontented. So it's kind of like it's not like the best place to be. There's like, again, there's just like this off balance of like desires and wants and needs and like hopes, but at the same time discontentment. There might be some greediness on your part. There might be some struggles for you to like open up to what you have. So instead of like seeing what you have in life, you're just like focusing on what you don't have. And I don't know if that's part of the balance here that's thrown off, but that's kind of the general theme. But again, I feel like if this is kind of like worrying you, I feel like it gets a little better by the second half of the year. We have some really good cards coming in. But let's start with January. So January, we have the Hermit. January has been and will continue to be a big month for you. Like I already said, I feel like you are already aware of this. Like I feel like you've probably noticed like, well, I don't know, like on paper, my life looks good, right? On paper, I have the job, I have the friends, I have the hobbies. You might even already be dating someone. But for some reason, like all the things that look good on paper, you still aren't happy. You're not fulfilled. It's like something isn't right, but you can't figure out what. And I feel like by now you know that, and you're kind of like the turtle, right? He's going into his shell. So I think that's probably your best course of action for the rest of this month for January, is to listen to yourself a little. You're probably a problem solver. You're probably someone that likes to like, when you see something is wrong, you like to figure out how to fix it. And I think that seeing the Hermit here tells me that you're not happy with this either. Like you have probably also recognized the off balanceness and you don't like it. and you want to change it, but you really don't know where to go from here. And you don't have to yet. I thought, it's not time yet. Really, the time now is for you to go into that phase you go into when you're having difficulties. What do you do? Like, how do you deal with them? How do you problem solve? Do you meditate? Do you just need to be still? Do you just need to be alone? If there is like situations that you can tell, like, I feel like I should really like this. I feel like I should be happy with this, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Maybe part of it's going to be letting it go and like kind of being with yourself again. In February, we're moving on to the Nine of Cups, which, that very emotional, and I feel like that's a good sign. So I think if you're able to like recognize what's happening here and take some time for yourself, that February promises a little bit more harmony, a little bit more of like the good feelings. So I hopefully like the balance is maybe starting to tip. So we're hopefully getting away from that state of discontentment or like unhappiness or unsure or boredom, and we're starting to see, you know what, I actually took some time for myself. I did problem solve a little. I did kind of figure out what's making me unhappy. I think I can almost, I want to say, reinvest in yourself and reinvest in your personal life to get it back on track so that all the successes you're having with your financial or business life, you can appreciate them more. Because it feels like business, career-wise, you're like up here, and then personal, you're just like down in the dumps. And so I think February is going to help maybe bring that a little bit more even for you. You might just have some good times, just have maybe some things you've been longing for are going to come to fruition. So maybe something you've been hoping for is going to start happening like in a real way in February, and it's going to give you hope. Maybe you did make some changes and that opened the door for something new that's really more emotionally secure and stable and long-term to come in, because you let go of that thing that really wasn't making you as happy as you knew you should be. So that's great promise for February. And then we move into March, which we have the Six of Pentacles. And this, again, the Six of Pentacles continues to show us that there is promise, there is hope. And you might have a new opportunity come up. There might be someone that invests in you. You may have decided to really invest in someone else. So again, maybe you've decided like whatever was happening at the start wasn't working for you. You kind of took time yourself. Maybe you've let something better come in. You're ready to invest in that new situation, this new promise. The opportunity is also ready to invest in you, be it a person or a situation that's going to work out for you. And there's like generosity and growth coming your way. And I really find it interesting because, again, I like really shuffled all these cards before I started. And so the 6 and then the 7. So it's like we're just moving on like in 1 month, right? So in April, we move on to the 7 of Pentacles, which is going to bring us back to a period of uncertainty, some dissatisfaction, some anxiety, reevaluating things. So I want to say 2 things about this. One, it could be that because we did start in this state of disillusionment, disappointment, uncertainty, feeling like off balance, and it seems like we did have some good things come into our life. This may just be like now all of a sudden in April, we're second guessing ourselves, we're second guessing these situations, we're getting scared, we're letting this like 4 of Cups kind of sneak back in and take over, and again kind of take over the good things in life, like overshadow the good things in life, which I think has to do with more of you and you, the way you respond to things, the way your fears, your hopes, like, so it's kind of like your pattern, your old pattern and way of life sneaks back in. So I'm like, I guess I'm wondering, are you someone that like really doesn't trust when good things happen in your life? So when they happen, you get scared and you run? Or because you were kind of in a situation that was like meh, and now you like something better's come along, are you scared? And that's why you're coming to this point in April where all of a sudden you're like, no, wait, this can't be happening. You know, so if that's something for you to think about, really a question that only you can answer. The other way I am seeing this Seven of Pentacles here is that it's a time to reevaluate. So we kind of started off with like, not again, like off balance, but now I think since we've had some good things come in our life emotionally, hopefully like with another person, with work, with opportunity, now we need to pause in April and kind of reevaluate our goals, what we want, what we kind of like where our life is going. So just, it's kind of like almost a natural progression of the changes you've made to this point. And that's an okay place to be. I think if that's really fitting you, you're reevaluating your goals might just be okay. Like I didn't really start out the year like the happiest. I was kind of like, wasn't feeling the greatest, or I was just kind of like, just not feeling like I had what I really truly wanted, and now I do. So how am I going to change? Like I'm ready to move forward. These things continue to grow, continue to serve me, but how am I going to respond to what has been occurring? What do I need to do? How do I need to reevaluate my own priorities to continue to let the things that have kind of come in continue on? The other thing I'm noticing is that these numbers are all higher numbers, which makes me wonder if this whole process even started before January. And what I mean by that is, I wonder if part of the discontentment, the like boredom, the like that just everything looks good on paper, but something's not right. I wonder if that even came to fruition in the first place, because these kind of things might have shown up for you even before January. So maybe like something new did come into your life, but you didn't know where it fit. But it's just kind of been there, and then it kind of has made you think more about where your life was now, because it was probably something unexpected, a turn of events, a turn of like maybe an opening up with someone that you kind of knew before, but now it's like changing or blossoming, and it kind of led to you kind of reevaluating where your life was. And so kind of came up with pile 1 too. Something has been there for you. It was, it's kind of thrown you off, I think, and it was unexpected. And so now that it seems like February brought some, and March brought some more, I want to say, signs or situations or conversations or experiences with this situation or this person, it is kind of making you reevaluate everything that's happened so far. And I hope that this reevaluation comes with some clarity of like, okay, I understand now why this has been hanging over my head. I understand now why I felt the way I felt, why I needed to do the things I did, and why these changes kind of came in, because really it's kind of what I was wanting deep down, and I didn't realize it because I was so lost under the emotions and the feelings that I wasn't admitting to myself what I truly wanted. And then kind of, I feel like by April, you're going to get that pause you need to understand what it is that you truly want out of life. And I think that's probably why we're seeing so many positive changes towards the second half of the year, because of like this stuff that's happening here. So I would say April might be kind of a off month for you. It might feel like, oh, February and March were feeling good, and now what's going on with April? It might feel like a setback. It might feel like, again, this like 4 of Cups is coming in and like kind of ruining it for you again. But just keep a focus on your thoughts and don't let your thoughts get the better of you. You need to come to some kind of agreement with yourself about what is truly happening for you emotionally and in like your daily life. And April is going to make you do that in some way. And again, I really feel like it's because life is trying to clear out the crap for you and make way for like the good things that are kind of promised towards the second half of your year. Right, so now we come to May. And May is the 5 of Cups, so it seems like just a natural progression of the 7 of Pentacles. So 7 of Pentacles, we paused, we stopped, we started to feel uncertain again, right? Again, the 4 of Cups might be like trying to get a hold of us again. And I feel like, so I wonder if this is going to happen more towards the end of April, and it just is kind of leak over into May, so to speak. So you're going to still have those feelings going into May. But at this time, it doesn't feel like this was more like in your mind where you were thinking practically. I feel like you're going to go through that, and then it's going to move on to more of an emotional feeling for you in May. So it's going to kind of transition that way, which I do like the 5 of Cups, because even though it could feel like setbacks, delay, we're like lost something, we're grieving, we feel disappointed, 5 of Cups always comes with the promise of all hope is not lost. And I'm hoping that whatever this is that you're like working through, by the time you get to May and it just becomes more like emotional for you, or more like real and raw for you, you are able to see that all hope is not lost. But yeah, really, things, it's like the promise is there, right? And again, we have the Cups and the Pentacles. So, and I really like how we see it here, like towards the ending stages, and then it comes back in the beginning, towards the second half of the year. Which is why I really strongly feel like you're like cycling, but you're like at the end of one cycle with something that wasn't working, and now you're going to go through this like crap here, because you're going to move on to a better cycle that is more true to you, that's going to bring you the happiness you want, and is really going to be like the right situation and the right person, because it doesn't seem like that's actually what's happening right now. And then for you, just being aware that like April and May are probably going to be like not the best months for you, but they're going to be so necessary. And just do the work, like do the work that is asked of you through the 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. So take the time to contemplate, to be okay with feeling uncertain. Be okay to feel the feelings you feel, like move through those feelings and then let them go, right? So here, and then right here we have like the 10 of Wands, which is about like being totally overburdened and weighed down. And I feel like this being here is really a culmination of what is happening in April, what is happening in May, and kind of like what you're moving through in general. So it's temporary, and I want you to remember that it is temporary and good things are coming for you. And I hope that helps you be able to kind of do the work you have to do and let go of like all this burden you have. If you want balance, if you want peace, if you want love, if you really want things to feel good and feel right, then you can have it, but you're gonna kind of have to fight your own, I think, your own like there's like an inner battle going on, I feel like, that you're gonna have to try to overcome. Your own thoughts, really. As we move into June, now we have the 10 of Wands, which again, I really feel like is mostly just a really natural progression of what was happening in April and May. So we're starting to feel we're starting to like look at our life by April, and we're starting to say like, this is what I've built so far. Is it enough? Am I enough? Is this what I want? Is this really making me happy? And then this might then be compounded by those like feelings of loss, hope, and despair, or like, okay, something good has kind of come in, or something secondary to what I started with kind of came in, but am I ready for it? Why is it here? Should I be questioning it? Should I let something go and let something else try something new? And you're going to be like really, I think by the time you get to June, you might just feel like, I cannot think about this anymore. I don't want to live this anymore. I'm like done. I feel overburdened. I've thought all I could think. I've like got rid of the things that were making me unhappy. And I'm just like done, right? So for June, I'm just feeling that sense of like, I've made a plan, I've thought about things, I've been through the difficulty, I'm sick of the feelings of burden, I'm sick of the blockage, I'm just over it, and all this crap, I don't want it in my life anymore. I am ready for new things. And so even though this card is here, I feel like it comes with that promise that you've reached the end of this hard cycle and you're ready for like a better cycle to come in. So really like good news, even though you might have a few hard months basically. And we see that here in July and August. So I just like, again, there's like such a cycle thing and like a balance thing and like an ending and beginning thing, right? So then we're at the end here and then bang, the next two cards are aces. And we have that same theme of pentacles and cups. So again, I just feel like it's like work-life balance, love, emotions, what you're creating in your life, creating things in your life, having things that you thought, again, looked good on paper, but really just weren't speaking to your heart the way that you know situations should when they're right. You let it go. You did the thinking, you did the feeling, you realized you couldn't do it anymore. You moved through it. And now I think by the time we get to August, you have managed to clear the way for your truth to come into your life. July is the Ace of Cups, which, you know, the Ace of Cups, we have fresh starts, we have illumination. So I think of that as like, okay, July is going to start bringing lightness to like this period that we were in of darkness, which I've actually said in other readings, that's really coming up for a lot of piles this year of like moving from the darkness to the lightness. But that's going to start for you in July. And this kind of comes with like the potential of a new relationship. So like the beginnings of something new that's emotionally fulfilling for you. It could be a new relationship. It could be whoever this person was that maybe threw you off from like, you were like, again, you were like moving on, living your life. Like if someone did kind of throw you off, or like all of a sudden, like you're thinking of someone else and now what you were doing wasn't looking good. They might actually like, now you might be ready to like really embrace that person or like let that person in, or a new person. So just like beginnings and kind of the promise of more pleasure and satisfaction is here for you in July. So you might have some really good days in July and your spirits are picking up, right? So I feel like this one's kind of fading away. And that continues into August because now, so we got like the emotional promise in July, and now we have like the Ace of Pentacles coming in August, which is like, again, continues to be the promise of like new beginnings, something prosperous. And this could also be like the continuation of something. So that's kind of what makes me think it could be like someone or something that kind of came in to you like even before January, December, November, that kind of threw you off a little, or a situation that threw you off, and now it's kind of coming back because now you're ready for it and it's here for you now. There are like new investments. So this can be an investment in time, a new investment in a project, a new investment in a person, which would really make sense with like this, what we have here in July. So just like hope for your future is really coming into you by July and August, and then this continues. So then in September, we have the Two of Cups. So now we're like getting some more of that connection back, that love, that relationship. There's like, you've made if you were like kind of here, like stuck with like choices of the heart between like this thing that was already happening and this new thing that came in that was kind of catching your eye. It feels like you were able to go through it, and now you have just like something great in your life that is making you happy, that is making you feel promise. It's very emotional. And I also feel like there's more, again, of that balance, that like Pentacle Cup balance is kind of coming. So good times seem to be starting in July and then just really going into September. And you're going to have more laughter. So more fun times, really. More laughter, more relaxation, more pleasure, more openness, more like connection, which I think is something that you were really feeling like you didn't have, or you perhaps were feeling like was missing, and now it's finally coming to you. So that's like this is a good phase of the year for you, July, August, September. And I feel like it just continues. So then in October, we have the Fool, which I really feel like, again, is a natural progression to all these like potential starting and bang, right? So I think by October, You are fully ready to embrace all the potential and newness and happiness that has thankfully come into your life over the summer. By September, you're like, by October, you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm ready to take the leap. I trust this now. I feel contentment now. I feel hope now. I feel like my future is more in line with my desires now, and I'm ready to like move forward towards this new life, and I'm embracing it. So kind of a beautiful like second half of your year for you. By November, we have the Two of Pentacles. So I think that kind of shows though that you were able to like jump off and do the things you needed to do. And now in October, there could be a new relationship, or again, this like person that maybe threw you off. Now you've been able to really integrate them into your life. Now you just don't look good on paper, your actual life looks good and it feels good, right? That's kind of what I just heard. And so now it's just about a balancing act. So now like, okay, you've been through a rough period, you went through some change, you were finally like honest with yourself, you listened to yourself, you recognize the imbalance, you've made changes, good things came your way, you took a leap of faith. I'm really feeling like a relationship here, like something that has slowly building is like really coming to fruition. In September and October, you've been able to open up to it. And so now it's just about balancing your new life and your new role that you are playing for yourself and for others. We have balance, we have change. So it could, and I think the way that we deal with the Two of Pentacles is going to have a lot to do with the way you're dealing with life. So if you let things build up, it could become like, oh, I can't handle all this. I'm feeling overwhelmed again. So there's a chance that, again, this Four of Cups can like come in and be like, no, forget about all this happiness you have. Forget about this person. Forget about this situation. No, we're still discontented. We're still bored. We're still unhappy. So basically, I really see this card as like your mental state, and your mental state possibly popping in throughout the year, because it's kind of like basically your pattern. You need to break free of your thought patterns in order to fully embrace and enjoy the good things that are coming. And I feel like that these kind of connect that way, where if you want this balance to be a good balance, where you're like, you know what, I know this is like new, I'm kind of overwhelmed, but things are looking so much better now. So I'm learning how to balance, and I can do this, then I think November is going to be good for you. But if you let your old habits, your old patterns take over, if you didn't like really do the work you were supposed to do up here, then it might feel like things are falling apart again for you. So you might feel again like losses, problems with communicating. You might feel emotional stuff again. If you have a hard time communicating in relationships, this card is like a warning for you that if you want to keep this good thing that has come in, you need to like try to communicate with this person, because chances are if you're feeling a certain way, they might be feeling the same way too, and they might just be really happy that you came to them and like communicated with them. So November is going to be like, just think like a balancing act, and whether you are able to keep the balance or lose the balance is going to have a lot to do with your own thoughts, and if you let old habits take over, or if you're able to like keep moving forward. And then again, like almost a natural progression to this is going to be by the end of the year in December, we have the Judgment card. So forgiveness, right? So if things got kind of rocky, if you let like your own like negative feelings take over, maybe you like hurt this person and you didn't mean to, or like you got scared and tried to run away, there's going to be some forgiveness. There's going to be like a leveling up. There's going to be promise and hope again. You're going to reap some of the rewards for the efforts you made, and just like good change and renewed purpose for you, and hopefully change in that habit. So this card might talk about like you've like gotten to witness throughout the year how your own habits and thoughts can really affect what's happening in your life, that can lead to the discontentment, that can lead to the like disconnect between what your life looks like to others and how you feel inside. And I don't know, I just really feel like there's someone that has come in already, and for some reason they're changing this for you, but you're there's like some resistance towards the end, but I feel like by the end, you're going to be able to say, I'm leveling up now. I think I've learned my lessons. I think I realized that I don't even want this. Like, no, we're done with this. We're done. And we're ready. This good thing, this good stuff, I'm ready to take it with me and move forward. And I don't want to fall into old habits or old ways. I'm ready for the change, and I'm ready to like let in the love and let in the light and let in the peace and the happiness. So I feel like your year starts out kind of rough, but you really work through to like a good conclusion, a good ending. But I just heard like, but you got to do the work. You just have to do the work. You're going to have to fight your patterns. You're going to have to like take the time you need for yourself and communicate. Right, we're going to go ahead and get some cards for you. So I have the Moonology Oracle cards, and we're going to see if what advice we can get. And I don't know, I want to like riffle shuffle these real quick because they're new and they're still very stiff. Do it off to the side. I just heard like someone has changed you. So I wanted to throw that out there. And I feel like it was totally unexpected. Something has changed you. And this is, again, I feel like it's already happening. It's been happening in January, and it probably started before January, but you might not have been aware of it. I think you're probably more aware of like this discontentment or like, why am I not feeling like I should? And that's kind of might be like, what is the catalyst to all these changes and things that you're going to go through? But I just wanted to throw that out there because it's just something I heard, and it might really relate to some of you. You might be like, oh, I know exactly who you're talking about, or I know exactly what situation you're talking about. You might have already been feeling it, but again, maybe scared or disillusioned. Okay, so this is your first card. And it's got this in another reading too, but surrender to the divine. And I'm kind of looking at it. I think for you, it really means this is a process that you're going through. And it's actually pretty fitting what we were just talking about. So if there is like something or someone that has kind of come in and thrown you off, something unexpected, so it's kind of saying surrender to it. And again, maybe it's like you were on one path, everything looked good on paper, it seemed like you had what you needed, but you knew like you weren't as happy as you should be. You knew like there was an off balance, like this thing came in for a reason. Like surrender to what's happened, because I feel like life is showing you the way if you're willing to listen and accept it and do the stuff you need to make it fully come into your life. Okay, and then the last card we have is take time to breathe out, which I think really speaks a lot to like what's happening in the first part of your year, that you are going like, and that's really, really speaking a lot to what I think you're probably going through right now in January, which you're kind of already realizing, I feel this way, it doesn't feel right, I don't feel balanced, I don't know, like, why am I not happy with the things I have? Like, what do I need to do, right? So just take the time. Like the Hermit, I think in itself kind of is one of those cards that says you need to take the time to breathe. You need to take the time to like be okay, being by yourself and thinking and feeling and moving through and really like contemplating what you want and where you want to go from here. All right, so pile 4, that is your reading. I am wishing you the best for your year. I hope that you're able to embrace what these cards are telling you today, and know that like if you're in a bad spot right now, there's so much goodness coming for the second half of your year. So you're gonna be okay, basically. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.